All right, so it's Daniel84. I wanted to do a quick video for anyone looking to add their own radio stations to Euro Truck Simulator 2, and I believe this also works for American Truck Simulator. I actually just spent like 3 days trying to find different things. Like, you know, you get to it, you go away, you get to it, you go away, you try to find stuff. There's a couple different things that I found, but it was really hard to actually find information that showed you a few things to try to find it. And I got lucky. I hooked myself up with a local radio station here in Arizona, and once I did that, I was like, okay, wait, let me see if this applies to anything else. I had to find a good website to actually get the address from. Now, of course, in Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, you can add MP3 files on your own folder to play off your computer, but that's going to play in order if I remember correctly, and it's not really going to be a variety like you might want. This video, of course, is going to pertain to how to get the streaming stations from the website I found that streams music, which really helps out. And I'm going to go through the whole process to show you how I did it, where I got it from, and how to put it actually in the file. So let's start with the website I used. It is going to be 181 FM right here. You can see this website has a pretty good list. You can see here on the left, you've got your Beatles, soul. I'm not going to read them all, heaven forbid, but you've got some oldies here, some decade 80s, decade 90s. You got some pop music, and it even has some UK top 40. You got your rock channels. I was wanting the one the first page you see me open to, I was wanting to get that page, but I can't figure out how to get that because I love new metal, but I like rock of all kind, and actually a lot of mix of stuff, as you'll see in a second here. But here's your rock channels: country, urban, Halloween. Which isn't just Halloween goofy sounds or anything like that. It's actually, I think earlier it was playing like Michael Jackson's Thriller and stuff like that. You've got soul, dance, techno, easy listening, talk radio. And I actually just put the comedy station on there too, because of course that's kind of the general. The only thing I haven't added yet to my list is country, because I really don't listen to country that much. But for the purpose of this video, I figured why not show you how to do it. So let's go with let's try kicking country. I'm gonna try to stop it. There we go. Let's hit stop. All right. Options. Let's get the volume muted so that way I don't get any trouble with the copyright. I'm gonna go ahead and play it again. I don't know if you actually have to play it or not. There we go. I don't know if you actually have to play it or not for this trick to work. Well, I don't know if it's really a trick, but it's how I did it. But basically, you can scroll down on this page, this 181, you can scroll down and you can see what was last played. That's how I kind of decided what stations I like. So for instance, on this channel, if you like Cole Swindell, Chris Young, Miranda Lambert, Sam Hunt, you have all these Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, of course, was on top when we got in here, and a Luke Bryan. So if you like that type of music, this might be a station for you. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click, hit inspect like I did there. You'll see on the right column, you're going to actually see, basically this is the code that is designed to work the page. And as you highlight it, this is actually kind of a cool feature. I'm using Google Chrome, by the way, but as you can see, it kind of tells you what the code for which section it is. So for like this ad for this banner down here, I'll just say because it switched, but see the banner right here? This is going to be the code that goes into creating that banner itself. This is stuff that you don't really have to concern yourself with, at least on this website, for trying to find the address, because what we want to do is go over here to network. Now, as you can see, this is a lot of stuff that even I don't know how to explain everything that's going on, but this is everything that's going on the page currently right now. Now, to get the actual player address for this station, when you're on this screen, you want to hit F5. See, now that's going to refresh the page. You can see it's reloading. Let me get that muted again. As you can see, it reloaded the player. But what you may notice now is right here in the upper right, you see this blue bar? This is how I figured out where the media is coming from. So if we go up here, you can see this is a waterfall of all the data that's streaming currently right now. Boom, right there. See this blue? This is all the content that's coming out. And as you can see, it's listed 181 country kicking. And if you click or hover over it, you can see the whole address for that. So what I did is right click, because this is how you're going to need to get this address. Open a new tab. You're going to highlight the top bar there.
We know sometimes.
You're going to highlight this whole top bar here, because this is going to be what you need. Now, this is what you want to see too. You want to make sure that it's actually going to play when you go to this new link, which it is. It's opening up in a standalone player. Once you have that, an easy thing you can do would be to open up a notepad and actually create all the data you need right here so that later you can access it, or if you ever refresh on accident, you'll have access to all of your stuff. Now what I've done is I've continued the formatting, at least so I remember what to type where I need to type it. So this is 181 FM, Kickin' Country is the name of this station. Put our little dash there. This is going to be country music, as we know. This is going to be in English. English doesn't matter if it's all particular. And then of course the bit rate seems to be 128. I've been using that, as you can see up here. I use that for all the other ones, and that seems to work out fairly well for me. Now what you'll notice here on this notepad, even though I've got this chunk down here, because these are all the ones I'm going to add, and I'm going to go through and add a few of these while we're on this video so you guys can see how to do that. But up at the top here, you see where it says stream data 241, 242. I had a little bit of an issue when I tried to create and add new data to the existing sheet already. I don't know if it has to do with code and the way it was written, and if I wasn't getting because I know basic code as far as idea is that it's basically using the data as groups, and each one of these channels is a group that it accesses when it's trying to read the data for your radio station. And the way you do containers and things like that, if you don't line it up just 100% right, it might actually screw up the code, which was what was happening to me when I tried to add a bunch of them. For whatever reason, it was screwing up the code, whether it was I was typing it wrong or the format wasn't 100% correct. Either way, it stopped making the file work, so I had to start over a couple times. So what I did instead was just overwrote some of the other ones that are in there, which you'll see right now. Now I opened up the live streams in the Euro Truck folder. Basically, you go to your PC, you're going to go to your documents. Let me just do that again. You're going to go to your PC, your documents, your Euro Truck Simulator, and then go to the live streams files that's in there. If you don't have it, stay a little bit longer after this process and I'll show you how to update it. Everybody, if you've watched any videos on how to do this process, you end up putting it in, then you end up having to start the game. So it takes a while. So I'm going to do that at the end once we finalize everything. But as you can see, you open up this file. Now basically you want to right click it if you haven't opened it yet, choose open with, and you're going to want to choose WordPad. There's always other options for opening .ssi files. But WordPad seems to be the easiest for me, and it's worked every time since I've done that. So we'll leave that there. So what we have here, now this is the document once you've updated it from the internet. Again, I'll show you how to do that, but once you've updated it, this is what that file is going to look like. Now as you can see here, you need to get good at reading these just for a little bit. So you got your stream data 0. This is your 0. Your total is the 236. As you can see, there's 235 stations. I haven't added them all. This was just what was on the internet. So that's why it says 236, because the numbering and coding starts at 0. But anyways, you've got your stream data 0. This is the radio stations for Truckers FM, which is in there. I'm assuming this channel works. I haven't tried it, but I'm assuming, so I left it. You have your station address. You have the name of the station, what type of song it is. So this is going to be sim radio. It's in English. The bit rate's 128, and 0 means it's not a favorite. If it's set to a 1, it means it is a favorite. And I actually didn't set, that was the other thing I thought might have been throwing it off, is I had a bunch of them set as favorites before I loaded the game. So I actually don't set them as favorites anymore until I get in the game and do it from the menu. As you can see, all of these things, I have these other websites already in here. This is from Listen 181 FM, which is right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to my next one. And by the way, while I'm in here, because it's bugging me, there's this one right here, old school hip hop. There we go. Okay, so we've got the beat, comedy. I know I've got top 40s in there, 90s. You have to find the last one. Now for you, it might be that top one, so it'll make it a little easier than for me. Okay, right here, this number 17. So put this cursor there. We're going to get rid of this one. It's from Czech. It's pop music, but we want to add our own. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our list. Now I'm just going to make it easy. I'm going to grab the country one I just did. You want to highlight the link to the 3, obviously the full link there. Go back here. You want to take and you want to replace this whole thing. So there we go. We have our link there, Kickin' Country. We want to change this to country station. I probably won't listen too much. Ooh, hold on, amateur hour. Forgot I have my hotkeys set up there. I'll have to remember that here in case I scroll down. We're gonna set that to English. Bit rate's the same. We're gonna change the name of the station to 181 FM. Kickin' Country. I like to think that since this is this place where I got it, it's always good to keep that in there so you can remember. It's actually a cool I mean, you could save these stations and listen to them offline, or not offline obviously, but listen to them just in your background anyways as your web page. That's what I did with the new metal one there. I just kind of saved it to my favorites bar. So it's a cool station, and they got a place where you can support them and all that if you so choose to. So we've changed that one to Kickin' Country. Now I want to do one more just in case I screw up and one doesn't work, because you know how these good old YouTube videos go if you don't do it right. And then the guy goes to do it, and then you got to re-record the whole thing. I don't want none of that. So let's just do the one right above it, because it'll be easiest for me to come back to later and add these other ones. So we've got 90s Dance is what this one's going to be, and it's just not European. So, okay, so there's the link right here. Again, we're going to go all the way to the MP3. We're going to paste there, which we've got there now. We're calling this 181 FM 90s Dance. We're going to classify this as dance music for the genre, because that just makes sense, obviously. We're going to go back here, call that English, bitrate 128. 0 means it's not a favorite. All right, so we've added the 90s Dance and the Kickin' Country. So let me just shrink all this down here. Actually, let me save this. So I do have the country saved in there. Close that down. Okay, so right now it's a Kenny Chesney song, but it's been on for that's the total time you've been playing the station, so that's not how long the song's been on. So we've got Kenny Chesney on. So let's do ourselves a nice little favor. Keep this video short and condensed as best I can. Take a vape break while we wait for this to upload. By the way, if you hit escape, that's how you fast through those menus. Okay, continue game. Get this past this loading screen. I'm actually really enjoying this game. That's why I felt compelled to actually do this video, to help anyone out who wants to enjoy it. And once you add your own music, my goodness, night and day. So much better. All right, so we're gonna go into radio. Now, before I go any further, if you see here, right here is this update from the internet. If you're having trouble with your .ssi file, if you screw up your .ssi file, if you edit it and you come in there and it doesn't work, just hit update from internet. It's actually going to overwrite the one you have currently saved in that location. So if you screw anything up, you can just hit update from the internet, which I had to do yesterday, and start completely over. And that way you can refresh and do things correctly the way you want to do it. Now, the other thing, here's those 3 that I mentioned. See how I left them here? Now you have the stations I've added. This is a local Arizona rock station. Now you have all the ones I got from 181 FM. Now down here, if we scroll down, we can see our Kickin' Country station I just added, and our dance music station. So what we're gonna do is not let it stay on too long, but we'll kick it, make sure it's gonna work. America, there's Kickin' Country, which I don't want to wait for the, well, we'll talk about this for a second here while it's finishing this ad, even though I don't think YouTube would hate me for playing an ad or Jack in a Box. But the thing about these channels I have noticed, which might be a pain in the butt, but it might not be a big deal. I mean, you are streaming music for free during your game. Every time you switch the station, it's going to actually run, I believe, a new instance of that station's player. So you're more than likely always going to hear a commercial first thing. See how it's playing the music? I don't want to keep it on too long, but so we can see that station worked. But yeah, anytime you switch these, and you'll see right here, I'm going to unmute it and go to this dance one, 90s Dance. Let's hit play on that one. It's going to go right back to probably a Jack in the Box commercial. Your favorite music apps are available on Contour. Or it's going to a Cox ad. So anytime you switch these, even in game, it's probably going to kick you to hear a new ad. But overall, I played for a few hours this morning and last night. It doesn't really do the ads too often. You might get 4 or 5 songs and then an ad or 2. And I would say, honestly, if we're talking about it just for the sake of this, the 181 FM, it's no more than Slacker. Maybe a little more frequent than Slacker, but I mean, if you're listening to a regular radio station, the frequency is going to be probably the same. So I mean, these days we're probably all used to it. It's about a minute's worth of ads, nothing too much. But we can hear it. Oh, they're doing a promo for their station now. We can hear that it's actually loading up. Now, if you go to a station, let me add those to my favorite. Whoops. This is how you add them to your favorite. Might as well do a whole little thing while we're here. That's how you add it to your favorite. And when you're in your vehicle, obviously when you're driving, if you hit page up, page down, that's how you switch through your favorites. So once you have all the ones you want in your favorite, it's easy just to page up, page down through your whole list. Obviously we can hear the dance station works, so I'm going to mute that too. But that's how you would do it. And so you can see that once you have a good amount of stations of what you like, it's fairly simple to go through there. I have almost everything. I wanted to add a country just for the sake of being filled, but I don't listen to it all that often. But who knows when you're driving. The other thing that I found made it easier, just a hint for anyone, the number pad, if you're using a regular keyboard, isn't really utilized for anything that I saw in the hotkeys. So what I noticed while driving, if I wanted to make it easier, I put the number key 8 and number key 5 as the hotkeys for the volume control. When driving, this just seems to be easy because you're not really doing much with your right hand anyways, assuming you're not looking around. So if you just set those hotkeys up to work for your volume on your stereo, you can actually turn it up and down as you want. Let me see if I can get, I think it's all the way down at the bottom. I figured might as well show it to you guys while we're talking about it. Down here you see audio player. You hit R to bring up your, basically if you hit R, it's going to take you out of the game, pause it real quick, and take you to the menu we were just in. If you just hit page up, page down, it's going to do it from within the game. You'll get a little box on the screen that says now listening to so and so, and see you got volume 8 or volume up, volume down. I set to number key 8 and number key 5 so that way I can just quickly flip on the fly over here with the volume if I want to turn something up or down while I'm driving. So hopefully this tutorial will help you guys. That's the first struggle, just about. Hopefully this tutorial helped you guys out. I spent a little bit trying to find stuff and I couldn't really find stuff, so that's why I wanted to make this video, put it out there. Obviously I got gameplay videos coming soon for this game, but I also have gameplay videos for other games and stuff on the channel. So if you like this or if it was helpful, leave a comment. I'll try to comment back if you need more help, but you can leave a comment, you can like, subscribe, do whatever you do. Thanks for watching, and we will talk with you later.